Alright, Void, here we go. Just woke up. Got a couple of these to get through. Let's see how we do here. Alright. Continuing Shutter Quest. This was wrapping up what I actually was watching last week. So that's how far behind I am. Alright. And which we're on was Cold Hell. It's a German film, though there's quite a bit of Turkish also spoken within it. The original title, and I don't speak German, so bear with me, would be Die Hol. Die Hole? I don't know. Anyway. And this is another movie that some people might argue why it's on Shudder, because it's more of a... It kind of skirts the line between being more of a mystery crime thriller. But I will say the over-the-top gore elements definitely kind of put it there. So it still just fits. I mean, a lot better than Small Town Killers did. Anyway, so Cold Hell follows a young woman named Ozge who's just trying to get by, but she's quiet, standoffish. She's had problems with her parents. She's a cab driver. She does her job well, but is constantly having to cover for her cousin who works there. So she's a little set upon. Anyway, after a hard day of work and promising to essentially lie and cover for her cousin again, she goes home, smells something weird in her apartment, looks around, opens a window, and sees across the room a brutal murder of someone having been pretty much set on fire as well as tortured. And from what you can tell, the killer has seen her. And while she's reported it, the police don't seem to do much because she herself doesn't speak the language very well and is a little bit leery about talking to the police in general. So they're of no help in offering her no protection. And then as it becomes apparent that the killer is after her, as people around her are getting in the killer's path as the killer tries to find her. Now she's also a practiced Turkish boxer, so she's able to put a bit of a fight herself. But she eventually, when her cousin gets killed, she has to now look after the daughter, as well as keeping her niece out of the protective custody of her abusive father. She seeks the help of one of the cops, who does take her in. This cop also was having a father with dementia that he's looking after. Agrees to harbor her while he tries to figure this out. And it goes from there as the killer still tries to lure her out, and the cop tries to find the killer. It's what you'd expect at that point. There's not too many twists. Anyway, it's alright. The title Cold Hell took me a while to figure out if it was just a random title, but it actually refers to one of the Muslim concepts of hell, where there's a particular part it's a cold part of hell where a particular torture is enacted, which is what the killer is doing to these people. A cold so hot, a cold that burns, so he's essentially likening to be sitting on fire and having burning oil poured down your mouth, which is what he's doing to his victims, so... Essentially, the killer seems to be targeting Muslim prostitutes in particular. Alright, so... The movie isn't perfect, but it's got a lot going for it. The characters, for the most part, are likable, even though if you want to shake Ozge half the time because of her stubbornness and unwillingness to talk and get help, you can understand a bit why, but it can be frustrating just to see her make poor decision after poor decision. Which prevents me from giving it too high of a rating. That said, I was definitely invested, and wasn't a movie I was falling asleep during, and since I was watching it between the hours of 2 and 4 a.m., that's saying something. So, I'll give Cold Hell 6 MacGuffins. It's not a lot setting it apart, but it does what it does very well. If you like a mystery thriller, this is a pretty good mystery thriller. And I haven't seen too many German films, so it was neat seeing one finally. But I doubt I'd watch this one again. I get 6 MacGuffins though because it is a step above, I think, but not quite enough to be called good. All right, well, see you guys in a few. I'm gonna try to get a few of these out.